Next on deck with Tim Black.
How many of you are sending your kids to college to go and work on them? Okay, well, guess who is working the farms? So that you can afford your food.
So that you can have food.
So that you can have food. Now, how many of you are looking to send your kids into hospitality after this college education so that they can go and make the beds at the hotels? How many of you are planning to send your kids to college? Because that's what we do here. We send everybody to college. How many of you are planning to send your kids to college so that they can then go and build these houses? So the reality is that so long as we live in a capitalist society, there's always going to be someone or a group of people that will do work that some of the rest of y'all don't want to do. These are the people that are really making us great in this country.
Next.
I want to get her back on the screen, Jocelyn. I want everybody to listen very closely to what she just said. I want you to let that slide around in your head a little bit. Because what she said was very much, you can take it two ways. You can say, oh man, that was offensive as hell. Oh, that's so offensive. She basically said America gotta have slaves. We gotta have people we're gonna exploit. Oh no. What is she saying? Now you can look at it that way. Now, when I hold that against you, I would understand why you look at it that way. But see, that's the easy. That's a very easy way to look at it. That's a very simplistic go-to. I want us to sit with it a little bit longer, let it swirl around in our heads a little bit, and look at it another way. Look at this. Jasmine Crockett. She's talking about elitism. Jasmine Crockett just revealed herself for what she really is. She one of them people. She one of the bourgeoisie, black, elite, talented 10th, looking down on the masses of black people. And she's also a black man hater. She is a black man hater. Now, look, that's a strong thing to say about a black woman. To say something like that, you gotta have some receipts, boy. You can't just say that about that sister like that. How you gonna talk down on that sister like that, saying she hate herself? No, she don't hate herself, fool. She a black woman. I said she hate black men. Has no respect for them. Unless they make more money than her, that is. Listen to what I'm saying, folks. Her argument is that America needs people that are going to do these jobs. You know, these jobs no one else will do. Jobs like working in the fields. Now, we're used to hearing that trope, but we all know people coming across that southern border, everybody don't go work in the fields. If you've been watching the Tim Black Show, we know there's several industries that folks on the southern border, people from Latin America, certain fields that they take jobs in that don't have nothing to do with farming. We know that, right? Because you've been watching my show. You don't just watch me destroy Democrats. You watch the shit when I be educating. So we know we got construction jobs, manufacturing jobs, we got landscaping jobs. Basically, all the jobs black people used to have. All the fields black people used to dominate in. Back in the 50s, the 60s, the 70s. In part of the 80s. Okay? Jasmine Crockett just sat there and she said, you don't want to build no house. Who's going to be building the houses? We got to have those migrants. We need them. Who's going to do this work? These are the real people that built America. Listen to this, folks. She don't love black men. First of all, let's get some things straight. And I tell you, every time when she talk, she's just re-talking. There's no facts, there's no numbers, there's no data. And she got a bunch of black people, particularly black women and a bunch of simps. And I'm gonna start calling you guys simps because that's what you are. Simps. Was any men in your life at all when you were raised? I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry both ways. Because if a man was in your life, the way you guys talking, somebody need to stop him and you. Let's talk about the college. The percentage of Black Americans aged 25 and older with at least a bachelor's degree is approximately 26%. Who is she talking to when she's talking about we all go to college? We ain't got time to be out in no fields. We don't got time. We ain't the ones building stuff in America, working with our hands. We don't do that. We went to college, didn't we? That's what y'all do. Y'all go to college. Who is y'all? Only 20%, 26% of Black Americans have bachelor's degrees. More of us go to college, but now most of us graduate. And if you don't graduate, you ain't qualified the same way a person who gets their paper gets. I ain't got to tell y'all know what it is. In fact, white Americans, 41% of them end up with college degrees, bachelor's degrees, bachelors. Asian Americans are 59%. The only group with less college degrees on average are Hispanics at 18.9. But we ain't far ahead of them with 26%, and that 26% is because of Black women. Because Black women are over-indexing on education. So who she's advocating really for, who she's really speaking about are Black women aren't doing roofing jobs, laying concrete like my dad. My dad raised a family of 5 as a construction worker who moved up to being like a foreman and doing other things on the job, but he was always in construction for 50 years. And we got Crockett sitting here saying, we ain't doing them jobs. My dad did that job. That's what he did for 50 years. Up until 2 months before he died, he was on the job. And I got this woman saying we don't do them jobs. Now, we don't do them jobs no more because you Democrats sold us out that we can't do them jobs. Them jobs are given to the Latinos. The number one field of employment for Black men. Production, transportation, and material moving occupations. One of the big booming businesses is CDLs. We've covered this on my channel, but we did that as a reaction to what happened to the construction jobs, because the construction jobs paid better. Yeah, them brothers that was on that bridge in Baltimore, they got hit by that ship, they make good money. Them Latino boys, them Latino men, I should say, them Latino men that was on that bridge, God rest their souls, who were victim of that crash. People were talking, these are salt of the earth. They were building those bridges, and they were bigging up the immigrants. Black men used to do those jobs. Now they don't hire you if you don't speak Spanish. That's because of people like Jasmine Crockett made it that way. The Democrats don't like working class men in general. They really don't like working class Black men. Have no use for them. You can tell. Why else would she be saying we all go to college when Black men go to college the least? Black men go to college the least of all the other men in America. We go to jail the most. So when you give away jobs, when you say, we don't need them jobs that work with your hands, the trade jobs. Drywall, it's all types of jobs in construction, all types of jobs in building. She just said we don't do them jobs. She's sitting in a room, predominantly Black people, telling Black women and them laughing and kikiing and clapping for her talking about doing away with the jobs that Black men do. Now, Black women, their number one jobs are sales and office occupations. 27% of Black women are in sales or office occupations, including administrative assistants, customer service representatives, retail sales workers. These jobs correspond with the higher educational attainment of Black women. It's all right there. So the Democrats got a problem. Why else you think Black men left and voted for Trump? Because he don't talk down to hardworking black men. He don't talk down to black men who the electricians, the roofers, the mechanics. He don't talk down to landscapers. He don't talk down to men that work with their hands, who build with their hands. Democrats do. We're not even counted in that field. We're not even counted in those occupations. We're not even considered for those occupations. They'd rather for us to go drive Lyft, go drive Instacart, DoorDash. That's what they want us to do. Amazon. Who's building a family off Amazon? Driving around in the Amazon truck. Who's building a family off that? I'm sure it's being done. I don't think it's easy work. And don't start talking about Uber and Lyft and that other stuff. Black men are notably underrepresented in high skills like management, business, science, and arts. Particularly when you compare it to where black women are. And what I'm telling you folks is that Jasmine Crockett it's not just her, but it's a whole group of black women, and a lot of them are Democrats who look down on black men who don't do the same professions they do. And this woman's legislating. This woman is a lawmaker. That's what she's supposed to do when she ain't sitting up here kikiing and talking and jumping in front of every camera she could find. She's supposed to be legislating. And that's bad. That's dangerous. I'd rather for her to be kikiing and talking. Because imagine what kind of legislation she's behind. It ain't gonna be the kind of benefits black American men. Not at all. Sisters, if you have a black man in your life who does not work in an office environment, who is not a politician or a lawyer, you should feel a certain kind of way about what she said. You know, all over this country, there are men and women who are not going to college and graduating. And even those that do, Johnson, even those that do, get a piece of paper if you go and you graduate, congratulations. Finding a job, finding a high-wage job, that's a whole different thing. Ain't no guarantee on that. Hell, I went to a training school. When I got out of high school, I went to a training school. I had a 4.0 average. I couldn't find a job. It took me almost a year to find a job. And if I had luckily met someone who knew someone who was a manager at a contract company, a government contract company, that's how I got my first job that opened the door to the office environment. But I happened to know him. Happened to know his wife. His wife worked that job. He did. He was a musician. I met him via music. And and through conversation, yeah, man, I'm looking for a job. What you do? Well, I did it. And I went to the school. What? Well, let me give my wife your resume. And 3 months later, or 2 months later, whatever, I ended up getting a job. It was a very entry-level position. So what I'm saying is, Jasmine Crockett's not telling the stories that black men have. She's not talking to black men. Her conversation's not for black men. Her policies are not for black men. They are anti-black male. They may not be anti-black women, but they damn sure are anti-black male. And if you support Jasmine Crockett, dare I say, you anti-black male, because that's what she is. Now, maybe if you Charlamagne the God, or DJ Envy, or Stephen A. Smith, you know, maybe it's okay because you don't work with your hands. You don't have them type of jobs. You're in 1%. What about everybody else? What about everyone else who's not in those jobs, who's not in those lines of business that she won't meet at the DNC convention, that she won't bump into at the fancy parties that her rich friends throw? She don't count those black people. Those black people They detest, I'm telling you, there's a certain class of black people, and you met them, you've seen them before, they detest working class black people. They detest working class white people too, don't get it twisted, but they got a certain disdain for working class black people. They're the ones that focus on this DEI, it's black shit. We know we ain't getting the jobs that you talking about. All this talking, I've been hearing them talk, folks. I've been hearing them go on and on and on and on and on. This ain't even a conversation that concern working class black men. Because we know when they talk about DEI, they're not talking about black men. And if they are, they're talking about the LGBTQ type black men. You think Michael still got a job because of DEI? Charlamagne to get a job because of damn DEI. Nah, they fighting for themselves. All of them are fighting for themselves and leaving us the hell out. They're leaving black men the hell out. All this talk. For months, there have been certain people running around. DEI mean black. DEI mean black. No, I mean black women. That's why you don't want it to go. Because of the black people that helped, it was black women. You better save it for somebody who don't know anything. You better save it for somebody who hasn't done any research. That's why we don't give a shit about it going. Folks, I'm going to leave this here. I don't hear white women discounting white men this way. I never hear it. I never hear it. I never hear them opining and insinuating white men don't do, disrespectful as hell is what it is. In my opinion, Jasmine Crockett has been exposed. She exposed herself. So yeah, you can talk about, it sounds elitist. Yeah, it do sound elitist. Like saying all the Latino people are good for us picking grapes. That's disrespectful as hell too. But anybody can pick that up. What I'm talking about is from a black American lens that most people ain't looking through. And what I'm telling you, when I listened to her say this, when I heard her say this, all I heard was anti-black maleness.
How many of you are sending your kids to college to go and work on them? Okay, well, guess who is working the farms? So that you can afford your food.
So that you can have food.
So that you can have food. Now, how many of you are looking to send your kids into hospitality after this college education so that they can go and make the beds at the hotels? How many of you are planning to send your kids to college? Because
that's somebody who has no data, no facts, don't care. There are a lot of women across this country that still work in hospitality, by the way. Everybody's not a realtor, Jasmine Crockett.
We do here. We send everybody to college. How many of you are planning to send your kids to college so that they can then go and build these houses? So the reality.
Build a house is a pointless occupation, it sounds like to her. I'm going to leave it there, man. If I got people that are living in denial, that's fine. Live in denial, stay in denial. I'm gonna keep swinging. This is BS. And it needs to be called out. That's what it needs to be done. It needs to be called out at every turn. She don't know what she's talking about. Just because she got brown skin and hair pieces in her hair don't mean she's standing on business for us. You gotta move past the superficial. I couldn't stop hearing people talk about Trump with black jobs. How dare he say black jobs, taking black jobs? Just because them elite jobs, those elite positions they have, aren't up for grabs like that. You understand what I'm saying? Their concern is not us. If you're working class, their concern is not you. How clearer could it be? Then they wonder why they lost. Hell, 40% of us should have voted not for the Democrats. Well, you know what we did? We just voted for the couch. They just didn't vote for Trump. 20% of black men voted for Trump, but I'm sure another 40% of black men just stayed home on the couch. So yeah, that couch is a mother. That couch is a mother. All right, guys, let's move it on. You know the deal. Independent black media stays unapologetic, raw, and real. Now you can wear the movement. From the Tim Black Wolf Pack to the Cornbread Collection. We got gear for the real ones. For men, women, even the little ones. No weak threads, no weak messages. Rep the truth. Rep the movement. Hit up timblackpauls.com and grab yours today. Because cornbread ain't free. Wolfpack. Perfect. You made it to the end of the video. I appreciate you. Now, Google thinks this next video is going to be perfect for you. It's right up your alley. So click the next video, watch that with me, and let's keep this politics going. You're built for this.